Good morning, America. Father and son in court. The alleged Georgia school shooter going before a judge, learning whether he could face the death penalty if he's found guilty.
You are charged with 4 counts of felony murder.
His father hearing his charges. What sources are saying about the semi-automatic assault rifle used to kill 4 people. A student recounting the horror she saw that day.
Sentencing delayed in Donald Trump's hush money case, now to be handed down after the election. And we're just 3 days away. Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris prepping for next week's debate on ABC. And the surprising announcement from a former Republican vice president.
Caught on camera, a mountain lion spotted roaming through town.
Confirmed mountain lion sighting in the downtown area.
Just days after another one attacked a 5-year-old boy inside a California park, the warning to residents.
New overnight, Starliner returns.
And there's the main parachutes there on your screen.
The troubled Boeing spacecraft returning to Earth minus its 2 astronauts. How an 8-day mission is stretching into 8 months.
Plus, College Game Day's Desmond Howard previews the big college football matchups on this big sports Saturday.
And game on! The Americans looking to ace it at the Open in the men's and women's finals. Is this the start of a tennis renaissance?
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
And we do say Good Morning America, and we've got that music to celebrate. Janae, look who's
feeling
She's
good,
back.
man.
How you doing?
You guys, I am like riding high to get to spend the summer with all those kids,
yes,
husband,
kids.
and I'll be back with you too.
My favorite comment on social media from somebody wondering where you were is like, that kid's going to be driving by the time she gets back.
Good. So good.
We missed you, and they
missed you. No more kids?
Yeah.
No more.
Okay, done. We've got a lot to cover here. Americans going for glory at the U.S. Open. Taylor Fritz and Frances Tiafoe battling it out overnight for a spot in the finals. Fritz finally outlasting his opponent. And American Jessica Pegula looking for a win in the women's finals today. ESPN's Renee Stubb is going to be here with more on that.
So much excitement to talk about, but also Wall Street closing out its worst week in nearly 18 months. Disappointing new jobs numbers, sending stocks tumbling. What it could mean for your money as the Federal Reserve weighs a cut to interest rates.
But we begin here with the 14-year-old suspect in the Georgia school shooting and his father both making court appearances on murder charges after the rampage that left 4 dead at Appalachia High School. ABC's Faith Abube is in Winder, Georgia with the latest. Faith, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Whit. This is only the second case we've seen here in this country where a parent has been arraigned on felony charges after their child allegedly carried out a deadly school shooting. Victims I've been speaking with here on the ground tell me they're glad to see the accountability extend to the suspect's father as well.
This morning, a stunning moment in a Georgia courtroom. Father and son appearing back to back, both charged in connection with a shooting that killed 2 students and 2 beloved teachers at Appalachia High School.
All right, good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Colt Gray?
Yes, sir.
Colt Gray, the 14-year-old, sitting just feet away from the families of his alleged victims.
You are charged with 4 counts of felony murder.
Moments later, his father, 54-year-old Colin Gray, brought in shackled, rocking back and forth, a judge charging him with multiple felonies, second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter among them. Investigators say Gray knowingly allowed his underage son to have a gun, and sources tell ABC News he gave the teenager the assault-style rifle used in the shooting as a Christmas gift.
I can see the elements that prosecutors are trying to put together to find liability. That if you miss red flags, that can land you, the parent, in jail.
It's now the second case in the U.S. where a parent has been charged with involuntary manslaughter after their child was accused of carrying out a deadly school shooting. Karen McDonald prosecuted the historic cases against Jennifer and James Crumbley, who were both convicted after their son killed 4 of his fellow students at his Oxford, Michigan high school in 2021.
I think instead of focusing on whether we should be charging parents, I think our focus really needs to be on the eliminating the need for it.
Ashley Gosa is the senior at Appalachia High School. She says she watched a gunman bang on her classroom door.
I can hear the gunshots plain as day. I mean, every time I'll try to sleep at night, I can see Miss Army or, Coach Aspinwall, or just hear the sounds or the cops yelling at him. Yeah, it'll be a while before I can get over that.
Her mother, Bridget, says she wants accountability.
And again, he is 14 years old, so yes, his parents, just like the ones in Michigan, they were charged because they knew.
And Emma Angulo, the mother of 14-year-old Christian Angulo, devastated after her son was shot and killed, speaking out.
No merecía esto.
He didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve to die like this, she says, adding, I miss him. I wish this was just a dream.
And neither the accused shooter nor his father entered a plea yesterday. A grand jury will hear this case next month. The DA says more charges are coming for the accused shooter. And Janae, the best news out of all of this is that all 9 victims who were injured here are expected to fully recover. Janae.
That is absolutely good news this morning. Faith, thank you for that update. Now to the win in court for former President Donald Trump. A New York State judge delaying sentencing in Trump's hush money trial until after the election. ABC senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky has those details.
Former President Trump will now be sentenced in New York November 26th, keeping him out of a courtroom before voters pick the next president. Judge Juan Merchan granting Trump's wish to postpone sentencing until after the election, saying the public's confidence in the integrity of our judicial system demands a sentencing hearing that is entirely focused on the verdict of the jury, free from distraction or distortion. Trump was convicted of all 34 counts of falsifying business records tied to a hush payment to porn actress Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election. With Trump facing potential jail time, his lawyers argued sentencing him before the 2024 election would have been politically prejudicial. Earlier Friday, Trump appeared voluntarily in court to watch his lawyer appeal a case that found Trump liable for sexually abusing and defaming former magazine columnist E. Jean Carroll. He then stepped before cameras at Trump Tower, where he appeared to repeat the defamation.
She made up a story, it's fabricated 100%, that I attacked her at Bergdorf Goodman.
Trump's appealing the jury's decision to award Carroll $5 million, but one of the judges told Trump's attorney it's very hard to overturn a jury verdict. Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
All right, Aaron, thank you. And we should tell you the former president is also appealing his conviction in his hush money case. This as we're just 3 days away from the ABC News presidential debate. Both Vice President Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are getting ready. Some big new endorsements overnight. And ABC News White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks is following it all. Good morning.
Yeah, Gio, good morning. We know that Vice President Kamala Harris is hunkered down now in Pittsburgh. We do expect she'll get out on occasion this weekend to sneak in some time with voters in that crucial swing state. But look, her team says that the country is still getting to know her. So in addition to drawing contrast with former President Trump, she wants to really talk about herself and her background. Now, in a radio interview yesterday, we got a bit of a preview of some of her potential attack lines. She said Trump inherited millions of dollars from his father, but still bankrupted 6 times. She says that she's the one that's from a middle-class family. Now, Harris also yesterday enjoyed that boost from former Republican Vice President Dick Cheney, who announced he will vote for her. He wrote in a statement that Donald Trump, quote, tried to steal the last election using lies and violence to keep himself in power after voters had rejected him. Now, Trump yesterday dismissed Cheney, calling him irrelevant. He also celebrated a new endorsement that he got from the Fraternal Order of the Police. He promised to be tough on crime, but Gio, he spent much of his time there when he was talking to the police officers, talking about how much he didn't trust the law enforcement system, how much he was sort of felt prosecuted, and he didn't like his own tangles that he had had with the law.
All right, and you're going to be back in our next half hour to talk much more about all this because there is a lot to talk about. And of course, you can see the first presidential debate live on Tuesday night right here on ABC between Harris and Trump.
Gio, overseas now to the Middle East and the death of an American activist in the West Bank. ABC's Marcus Moore has the latest. Marcus, good morning.
Well, hi, Whit. Good morning. We are in Nablus at the hospital where doctors tried to save Ashanur Agi. The 26-year-old was participating in anti-settlement demonstrations on Friday when she and an 18-year-old man were shot. She suffered a serious head wound, and the IDF says its soldiers had come under attack with at least one alleged instigator throwing rocks at the soldiers, Israeli forces responded by firing live rounds at the crowd. Now, I spoke to a witness over the phone who said Agi was shot sometime after things had calmed down and that she was in a separate area from where the clashes occurred. He said that the Israeli soldiers fired on Agi from the roof of a building. Now, U.S. officials offered their condolences and called for an investigation, while Turkey's president has condemned the Israeli crackdown as, quote, barbaric. Palestinian health officials say 40 people have been killed and 150 injured since Israeli forces began what they call a counterterrorism operation last Wednesday, they say, to quell armed Palestinian groups and to prevent attacks against Israelis. Janae.
All right, Marcus, thank you for that. Back here at home now this morning, and residents of Salinas, California are on alert. A mountain lion was spotted near homes and businesses. People have been told to shelter in place for a time. ABC's Melissa Don joins us now from California. Melissa, good morning. A mountain lion, not necessarily unique, but a shelter in place order certainly is.
Definitely, Janae. Good morning to you. And it can be a little bit concerning here. While that mountain lion in central California has not yet been spotted, police say there have been reports of mountain lion tracks in the area. All of this as authorities warn people to be on the lookout.
Confirm mountain lion sighting in the downtown area. If you see the mountain lion, call 911 and do not approach it.
This morning, a wildlife warning in central California. Authorities alerting residents to shelter in place after a mountain lion was spotted running through a commercial shopping area.
The first thing I did, I locked my doors.
The Salinas Police Department working with California Fish and Wildlife to track down the cougar. In this video, you see the mountain lion making its way in front of stores, hiding behind bushes.
I mean, I hope it doesn't hurt nobody.
Eventually, Ring camera video capturing the moment it makes its way to a resident's porch overnight Thursday. Wildlife officials say the mountain lion was likely looking for its habitat.
During this time of year, young mountain lions separate from their mothers. And so they're looking for their own territory. There's a bit of confusion going on with them.
In Southern California last week, a 5-year-old boy attacked as his family was having a picnic at Malibu Creek State Park. The child survived after suffering severe bites and scratches. Officials say that mountain lion was euthanized. And while attacks are rare, with only a reported 20 in the last 40 years, officials say it's still important to be aware of your surroundings.
They're more scared of you than you are of them. We want people to be educated. We want people to go outside, to enjoy the outside, to be with their families. With just a small little bit of education, we can live together.
So California Fish and Wildlife have this in mind if you happen to encounter a mountain lion. The tips that they share is that you back away slowly until you get someplace safe and then call 911. They also recommend bringing pets indoors, and if you are out after sunset, to travel in groups. Gio.
Some good advice and some incredible video there, Melissa. Thank you for bringing that to us. And we've got some important news now about your money this morning after Wall Street took a beating on another lackluster jobs report. But there may be a silver lining. And ABC's Alexis Christophorous is here now to break it all down. Good morning, Alexis.
Good morning, Gio. After another disappointing jobs report fueled concerns about a slowing economy, the Dow and NASDAQ each sank more than 400 points, while the S&P 500, which is tied to many Americans' retirement savings, suffered its worst week since March of 2023. Employers added a fewer than expected 142,000 jobs in August, mostly in construction and healthcare, while the unemployment rate dipped to 4.2%. Now, economists say lower inflation coupled with this latest jobs report puts the Federal Reserve on track to cut interest rates for the first time in 4 years at its meeting later this month. The question now, how much? A quarter point or a half point? Experts agree, though, it will take a series of rate cuts for consumers to finally feel the difference in the form of lower rates for things like mortgages, auto loans, and credit cards. Whit.
All right, we'll wait for that. Thank you, Alexis. Appreciate it. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says a person in Missouri is the first human case of bird flu in the U.S. without a known link to a sick animal. This brings the national total of human bird flu cases to 14 so far this year. There are no cases of bird flu among cattle in Missouri, but there have been outbreaks of the virus among poultry in the state. The CDC's risk assessment of the virus for the general public still remains low.
Good news there. Now to Boeing's troubled Starliner space capsule. returning to Earth overnight, but without its crew due to those safety concerns. ABC's Morgan Norwood joins us with more. Morgan, good morning to you. There were lots of issues with this one.
Yeah, and all eyes were on this return too, Janae. You know, this was a risky re-entry, and though the trip in space was marred by problems, the Starliner successfully undocking from the ISS on Friday, barreling back to Earth, the crewless capsule cascading down via parachute over New Mexico, and those 2 astronauts they left behind, well, they're now waiting on SpaceX for their ride home.
And there's the main parachutes there on your screen. We see 3 out.
This morning, Boeing's troubled Starliner spacecraft successfully returning home, but without its crew.
Touchdown. Starliner is back on Earth.
The capsule landing in a New Mexico desert overnight, 6 hours after departing the International Space Station, bringing an end to its disappointing test mission to the orbiting outpost. The Boeing spacecraft forced to leave its 2 astronauts behind.
It would have been a safe, successful landing with the crew on board had we have had Butch and Sonny on board.
NASA saying early this morning the Starliner encountered some problems during re-entry, but landed on target. Boeing not attending the news conference, instead releasing a statement saying in part, "We will review the data and determine the next steps for the program." Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams should have flown Starliner back to Earth in June, just 8 days after launching. Instead, and after a series of setbacks, including thruster and helium leaks, NASA and Boeing deciding it was too risky to bring the crew back the same way they flew them up. Now, the astronauts will hitch a ride with Boeing's competitor, SpaceX, its Crew Dragon lifting off in 2 weeks, extending their 8-day trip to 8 months.
We have your backs, and you've got this. Bring her back to Earth. Good luck.
And Butch's daughter says that she misses her dad, but astronauts, look, they usually spend months at a time up in space. She even jokes so far that the worst thing about him being gone is that they've had to hire someone to mow the lawn. And so Butch and Sonny, of course, are expected to return to Earth February 2025 , and he'll be back to mow the lawn.
This is so crazy. Like 8 days to 8 months.
8 months.
I was gone for 8 weeks. Whit was in tears. Gino sending out bolos.
It felt like 8 months.
I had to mow your lawn and everything.
Exactly.
It was, yeah.
Oh, gosh. That was great, Morgan. Thank you so much for that.